Hey there, I'm Joe Carter. If you've ever popped the hood and thought, where do I even start? You're in good company. Around here, we take the mystery out of car repair, one fix at a time. Whether you're a beginner or just looking to sharpen your skills, there's something here for you. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you're into learning without the headaches. All right, that's enough from me. Let's get into it.
Small area where you can drive without fear of harming other road users. Few stationary objects will not be an obstacle, as you will need landmarks for maneuvering, car, as close as possible to the dimensions and controls of your vehicle, if the training will not be on your car. This point is especially important, because, having trained on a small car with automatic transmission, at the most crucial moment you may be confused. When driving in reverse, it is primarily important for us to assess the distance from the vehicle's clearance points to obstacles. That is why we recommend to switch the side mirrors to the parking position, in the near part of the mirror element the most protruding. Part of the aft part of the body and the wheel arch are displayed. Only 40% of the display occupies the horizon, because it is easier to park close to the curbs, and also it is much easier to notice small objects near the car. Simple rules features to consider when maneuvering. Driving with a permanently twisted neck is a clear sign of unprofessionalism. In this case, when reversing, you lose the ability to follow the angle of the nose of the car, lose sight of the side of the car, which increases the risk of crumpling the car on the low side, metal fences, stumps, or scraping a wheel on a curb. Turn your head back before you start driving to control a small blind spot that is not visible in the passenger rearview mirror. Also, you can't do without turning your head if you are pulling out from behind an obstacle, such as a row of tightly parked cars or a wall. Since the image in the rearview mirror visually reduces the distance to the object, it is difficult for a novice driver to determine the edge of the aft part of the car. Therefore, a backward glance may be required to drive close to the object. In all other cases, the information from the rearview mirrors will be enough for you. Activate the emergency warning system before entering the roadway. This is especially important in conditions of limited visibility, when additional light signaling will make your car more visible. Periodically monitor the nose of your car. When driving backwards, the turn of the steering wheel provokes a shift in the front of the car, so in narrow places, if you are inattentive, there is a chance of catching nearby objects. If you learn to reverse using the mirrors and not turning your head back, it is much easier to avoid this problem. Before driving out of a tight spot in the yard, make sure that there is no child or animal standing in your blind spot or near your car. It will take you a few seconds, but it may save your life. You don't have to turn your head all the time. If you need to drive backwards a few dozen meters, then often most of the time to correct the trajectory can be on the rearview mirror on the driver's side. Look in the side and center mirrors only periodically to make sure there are no obstacles. Rapid and constant refocusing of attention on all mirrors will only make reversing more difficult. Control subtleties. Note that when driving in reverse, the direction is set by the rear wheels. This makes the vehicle more maneuverable, as the reaction of the body to the steering wheel will be sharper. This is why forklifts are equipped with a rear steering axle. Drive at a slow speed. Avoid sudden movements of the steering wheel, especially on slippery surfaces, because regardless of the type of drive axle, active steering will provoke a skid. Due to the way our brains perceive information, look where your car should be. If you reverse and fix your attention on an obstacle that you need to avoid, it is highly probable that your brain will force your hands to steer the car towards the obstacle. Do not correct the trajectory by increasing speed. At first, it is best to drive at a constant, low speed at which you can control the angle of the turn and the environment around the car. On a manual, i.e., a car with an automatic transmission, the clutch pedal can be used to control the pace at low speed. To drive a car with a serviceable automatic transmission at low speed, it is sufficient to release the brake pedal. On mechanics, you can partially depress the clutch pedal. In this case, it is important not to raise the engine speed until the car starts to stall. Otherwise, with prolonged driving, you can scorch the clutch, which will result in a rather costly repair in the future. Therefore, to learn how to properly drive in reverse on the mechanics, you definitely need basic reflexes of working with pedals. Building the skill training should begin with developing a sense of the car's dimensions. For this purpose, it is necessary to back up to the obstacle gradually, periodically leaving the cabin and visually controlling the distance. As a barrier, it is most convenient to use several tires, the impact on which will not harm the paintwork of the car. As soon as you get as close to the obstacle as possible, correlate the reflection in the rearview mirror with the distance between the rear bumper and the object. The longer you practice, the better you will be at correlating the reflection in your rearview mirrors with the actual distance to the object in the future. Oddly enough, it only takes a little theory, but a lot of practice, to learn how to reverse properly. Make snakes and corridors of all sorts of shapes out of plastic cones. As your skill level increases, decrease the distance between the cones. In the same way, you can learn how to parallel park and turn in a garage. We recommend that you start training by watching videos on which experienced drivers will show the basic techniques and features of reversing. Electronic aids. In conclusion, mastering the art of reversing is essential for any driver looking to enhance their skills and confidence on the road. By understanding the intricacies involved, such as using your mirrors effectively, checking blind spots, and practicing in safe environments, you can navigate obstacles and park with ease. Remember, practice makes perfect, so take the time to refine your technique. With patience and persistence, you will become proficient in reversing, making your driving experience safer and more enjoyable. Thank you for watching, and drive safely.